Okay, the title of this video, I have figured out the whole plot. I think I have figured out the whole plot of this game. Possibly. So, a recap of the story, if you don't know what I'm talking about, is this. So we know the Fraxidus' grand plan. They have laid it out. The Fraxidus, they are looking for the perfect human vessel, which they found one. It was Hiyuki. Hiyuki was the perfect vessel they were looking for the Threnodians' power, because she had immense power and strength. So they thought Hiyuki is the perfect vessel because Hiyuki can take other future versions of herself. You know how people always say, "Oh, we're not the only timeline of us in real life." Like people say, there's alternative timelines of us doing other things, and sometimes our dreams, when we sleep, can show us the alternative timelines of us doing other stuff for like a glimpse, for like a millisecond. I think Kuro played into that, which is what we actually do in IRL. Like we think there's alternate timelines of us living out other possibilities of our lives as we live our life. So, she could have had infinite power, basically, from her alternate timelines. So, the Fraxis are looking for a perfect vessel, not only to hold one Threnodian, but hold all of them. Because Rovers said, excuse me, to the Grand Architect, you wanted to merge Leviathan with Aleph 1, which sounds crazy to think about. Like, they want to merge Aleph 1 with Leviathan. And now here's where all this gets put together. Right now, all we did was banish Aleph 1. But he's gonna come back because Denya is his resonator. It's his like incomplete resonator. So he has a way back into Solaris, and he knows where this planet is. So he's gonna come back. He's not just gonna leave. He's gonna come back and try to finish off this planet, which sets up an Avengers Assemble at like 3.9. Definitely sets up an Avengers Assemble. And I'm going to be honest here. There's two possibilities here. There's two possibilities here. Either Koro is going to set up a scenario where the Tethys system is actually what the Fraxidus want all along. Because keep in mind, the Tethys system right now has Leviathan. At the end of 3.9, if we capture Aleph 1, because again, keep in mind, this the Exostrider that's in space right now, just guarding the planet. They said you cannot destroy Aleph 1. You can't get rid of him. You can't at all. You cannot do anything to him. It's actually impossible to kill Aleph 1 and destroy it. So what's the only thing you can do? You can only seal it away or push it away. That's all you can do. Is seal it away and push it away. That's it. So, my prediction is this. We're going to seal away Aleph 1, and what's going to happen? We're going to stupidly put it in the Tethys system. And that's where Leviathan is. I think we're going to do exactly what the Fraxidus want, merging Leviathan with Aleph 1 in the Tethys system. And I think that's what's going to happen with all the Thernodians. I think The Grand Architect is banking on us putting all the Threnodians in one place. I think that's what they're hoping for. And I think that's what they expect of Rover to do. They're going to put all the Threnodians in one single place. That's one possibility. So that way we have to fight all the Leviathans or all the Threnodians combined into one super being. That's one possibility. Another possibility is this: they're going to push Rover to the point where they don't have a choice. Their last option is to absorb all the Threnodians. Because I'm going to be honest here. The way the Grand Architect glazes Rover and glazes like their abilities, their capabilities, their strength, how old they are, they're not from this planet. I think the Grand Architect is trying to force Rover into a corner to where they're like, okay, I don't have a choice. Just like Abby, I have to absorb this Threnodian. And I think that's what they're trying to do. And I think that's their goal. Because again, the Grand Architect said that there will be a perfect resonator for these Threnodians to host. And I think that's gonna be Rover. I'm not gonna lie. Because keep in mind at the beginning of the game, Scar did mention that Rover will join them at one point in this story. Like they will join. So my thing is this: if that's true and if that's the case, right? Then is Rover going to be the perfect host for all the Threnodians to merge? And if not Rover, then is it Abby? Because Abby is the only other being we know so far on this planet that can absorb Threnodians except for Rover. And I guess the Tethys system can hold them as well. So we know three possibilities. But here's the thing with Abby. Let me give some context. If Abby absorbs the Threnodians, there's a chance that Abby will regain its memories and become a Threnodian itself again. Because keep in mind, Abby is not a part of like Rover's planet or anything. Abby was a Threnodian, Abraxas. And apparently he was probably I think lore wise, Abraxas was one of the strongest Threnodians. He was one of them, if not the strongest. And yet Rover absorbed him once he used all of his power. We don't know the story behind Abby yet, but I think like he was pretty damn strong among the Threnodians, and Rover absorbed it. And if you remember in the beginning, Abby absorbed some of the Threnodian in the first one as well. At the beginning of the game, he absorbed like a blast or dark tide coming from it. Um, so those are the only three possibilities right now of like a perfect resonator that we know of so far taking place. Abby, who can absorb them because he is a Threnodian. Rover, who can absorb Threnodians as well. And then the Tethys system that can hold and store Threnodians for we don't know how many or how much it can store, but it can also hold and store Threnodians. But I guess you could say there's a fourth possibility. Random characters in the future like Hayuki, like Fleur de Lis, and like Denya, characters who have immense power, but they're born from this planet, but they believe that they can hold Threnodians, or they can be like Denya, where they create a human body where they think it can hold enough Threnodians or can hold Threnodians. So there's four possibilities. I would be honest, the one where they're creating their own human, I don't think that's going to work out for them. I really don't think that's going to work out for the Fraxis. I think they're going to have to rely on the other three options: Abby, Rover, or get Rover to do their dirty work and put it into the Tethys system, where all the Leviathans will merge into one. And then I think at that point it'll be way too strong, and Rover will have no choice but to absorb it, or have Abby absorb it, and then Abby will transform back into the Thernodian that it was supposed to be. Those are like the four options. And I think the three I said are like the main three options. This is all just me spitballing here, guys. Spitballing ideas because we've discovered a lot. Now, unfortunately, I will say Koro missed the mark a little bit on the ending there. For me personally, I was really hoping to get more Rover lore, like after pushing out Aleph 1. Like, I was thinking maybe the Extra Strider would tell us something about Rover's home planet, or something. Maybe it's too soon for that. Maybe it's too soon for them to talk about Rover's home planet or where they came from. I was really hoping for more Rover lore. Um, But don't get me wrong, the story was like a 9 out of 10. The cinematic robot fight, all that stuff, that shit was sick, dude. That shit was sick. We have our daughter back. Like, definitely a 9 out of 10 story. For sure, for sure. That one little part just kind of bumps it down for me. Because I was really hoping for some more Rover lore. But that's just me. That's just me. Um, all in all, it was a great story, and we're not done yet. Obviously, we're still getting Denya's story at the end, and she is directly tied to Aleph One, so we have to see what the hell's gonna happen there. Um, but yeah, those are my theories. That's me just spitballing here. I don't truly know, but those possibilities seem like the most logical sense. And if you guys are gonna like try to guess multiple resonators, I don't know if that'll happen because the Grand Architect said that they showed a future where there is only one true resonator for the Thernodians. And I'm just gonna be honest here. I think Rover's gonna be that resonator. It's either Rover or Abby. Again, I think the Tethys system is going to do what the Fraxidus wants and merge them together if we keep putting the Thernodians in it. But I think there's only going to be one true resonator, which could be Rover or Abby. Because keep in mind also this, at like the beginning of the game, you know, everyone keeps asking Rover this. What if you fail? What if you become evil? Then what? You want us to stop you? Like, we're gonna have to stop you if you become evil, Rover. And Rover has been content with that. They're like, yeah, if we become evil, we're gonna be relying on you to stop us. And that was in the beginning of the game. I think Koro is really setting up Rover becoming the bad guy at the end of the day. They're this savior. They're this all powerful being. And again, in my story playthrough, I talk about this. Like, I think Rover belittles the stuff that they do. Like, even though it is the people rising up to fight, and even though it was the people making, the map inside the Threnodian, like, it's Rover playing always the most crucial role Now, you could say the people in there played a crucial role, and I think they did. But Rover, like I'm talking about, like at the initial start of the pandemics, Rover plays like a crucial role in holding back the Thernodians, so that way the people can rise up and help Rover. Like, so from my understanding, Aleph 1 was never supposed to be here. Aleph 1 should not be on Earth or on Solaris. The only reason Aleph 1 got drawn to Solaris is because it saw the Exostrider, and it followed the Exostrider, which led it to Solaris. I don't know. This story is getting crazy when it involves space and stuff. That's when the story starts to get crazy, man. And we're still no close to finding out anything about Rover. All we know is they're not from this planet. That's all we know. And also, I think it's been confirmed, boys. Mark your calendars. 3.3.5, we're going to the new Federation. I think the Grand Architect just confirmed it. 3.5 with a list of 5 or 6 new, however many new characters. I think we're going to the new Federation. And I think the new Federation is like a main city, a huge city. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Koro can do a huge city. I really am. I would love to know you guys' thoughts and ideas of who the true one resonator of the Thernodians could or can be, or even should be. I'm going to be honest, though. In my opinion, I think it has to be Rover. Rover or Abby, considering Abby is a Thernodian. And they just lost their power and their memory. But the fact that they can absorb all the Thernodians is like, okay, yeah. Like, you have to be like a vessel for them or something. Or something. And then the same thing for Rover. Like, you have to be like a vessel for them, right? Like, you have to be. I don't know. But those are just my thoughts, my opinions. I could be wrong. I could be super off. A lot of people thought Shisa was going to play a role in saving Ameth. She played no role at all. So we were all super off. And, even the writers who are writing the story said that, people had some crazy ideas, but they were way off the mark of where they were going with the story. Um, so I could be way wrong, but it just seems like that it just falls in line, does it not? Like Rover is the perfect being for this. Scar in the beginning literally said, "You will join the Fraxidus one day. It's been ordained. Like, you will join us, like you did before." Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's crazy. It's risky. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be like so honest here. If the plan for the Grand Architect is to let Rover capture all the Thernodians and put them in the Tethys system, and the Tethys system becomes like the final boss, that's going to be a pretty terrible story. I'm not going to lie. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that would be pretty boring and pretty terrible. Like having Rover be the bad guy or having Abby absorb his own kind and returning to their true form, I think that would be pretty awesome. And then we got to like fight Abby, destroy Abby, or we have to fight Rover, and then they pass, but they get sent back to their home world instead of passing. I think all that would be way better than us fighting a robot machine like the Tethys system again. Um, but that again, that's just my thoughts. Let me know you guys' thoughts. 9 out of 10 story. I enjoyed it very much. I know we're not done with Lahai Roy's story. Obviously, it's going to be just like Renacida and Septimont. We're going to probably come back to Lahai Roy, go back to the New Federation, go back to Lahai Roy, go back to the New Federation to try to figure out the Aleph 1 situation. Because again, we're not done with Aleph 1. All the Exo Strider was able to do was push him away. That's it. All it could do was push Aleph 1 away, but it's gonna come back. It knows where to go now. So, we're definitely not done here. I'm hoping for more Rover lore. Like, they started off the story with extreme Rover lore, and I know they toned it back probably in this story to progress this story further, but I feel like they need to come more with Rover lore. Like Rover is from space. Surely Aleph 1 has some knowledge of Rover's planet, or the Exostrider, who's from Rover's planet, who is a robot who should have memories of Rover's planet and have some information to relay to Rover of their planet. I think like should have dropped some Rover lore. I think they kind of missed the mark on that again for me because it's something I've been waiting for because no gotcha game truly gives their character like their lore. Like they'll drop little subtle hints about it, but they never give like they never like just drive home the main character's lore. And I really hope Wuwa stays on track with that because again, this involves space, which involves Rover's home planet. So I really do hope we get some more Rover lore and after the 3 Point Saga, maybe we can move into some Abby lore, so we can learn more about the Threnodians and learn about Abby's past and how they are one of the Threnodians. Like, how did we absorb you? um, why would you betray your own kind, even though you are a Threnodian? You're one of the most powerful ones. So, like, why would you betray them? Like, what's your angle here? So it's just a lot of questions, and I really hope they go more into the to our main protagonist character's lore. Um, Again, just my opinion. But let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time for another Wuthering Waves video. Bye, guys.